is a really weird angle or if my car is too loud, but I wanted to try doing a little car vlog for you. I think I mentioned it in my last video. I spend a lot of my time driving around places, so I figured why not take some of that time and use it to talk to you about whatever I'm reading and things like that. So this is a test. I'm gonna go see how the sound quality sounds now. Okay, so that seemed to actually work really well. So the first car vlog review thing for Fiction Friday is going to be a review of Stephen King's The Gunslinger. So, a little preface, I have tried to read Stephen King's book The Gunslinger before, like 3 times actually. I have this copy that my uncle from North Carolina gave me back in 2012, and he was like, here, just read it over break while you're here for these couple days, you read fast. And so in 2012, I was like 15, 16, so I didn't really understand fully, like I understood what was going on, but like I didn't fully understand certain parts of it. And so I got like halfway through it and put it down, and then it happened again and again, and I still have that book because I haven't been back to North Carolina to give it back to him. That's a cool card. But since the movie came out recently, my boyfriend got the audiobook on Audible, which for the longest time, part of the reason that I didn't finish reading it was because my library for like the audiobooks had every book but the first one for audiobook. It was just an ebook, and I was like, well, I don't really like ebooks to begin with, and this one I'm having trouble getting through just reading, so I prefer to have an audiobook, which is usually what I do when I can't get through something when it's in print. So since he got it for audio, I was like, oh, well, I'll give it a shot once you're done reading it. It's like, I've got other things I'm listening to, you go ahead. So for the last, I want to say week and a half, I've been listening to it on my way to work, which is a really weird thing to wake up to, is Stephen King's The Gunslinger. I've always been told either you really like Stephen King's fantasy series, the Dark Tower series, or you hate it. I feel like I'm in between, honestly. Like, I don't hate it, but it's also not my favorite thing in the world. I would rate it like 3.5 stars. Like, I don't know. It's a good story. It's written well, but it wasn't something that was like, oh my god, this is freaking amazing. I'm gonna keep thinking about it. I have to read the second book now. Like, I have the option to now, like, which is cool. I can do it and I can actually listen to the rest of the audiobooks. Woo! But like, that's all I feel. I'm not like wowed by it. And from what I've seen in the movie trailers, the movie is extremely different, which is how most things are. But fun fact about Stephen King, if you want to make a movie on a Stephen King book, he will sell you the rights for $1. However, he has to get the script and give the okay before it can actually go into production. So you can buy the rights and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make this movie, but if he thinks that it's crap, you're not going anywhere. But also at the same time, like, if he does really like it, you've got all that extra budget to get going. So, I don't know what happened with that. But, yeah, I wasn't wowed by it. I think it's one that you have to read for yourself to really grasp. My uncle loves it. Like, he absolutely loves it. That's why he gave me his copy that I still want to give back to him. Sorry, Uncle Dave. But, yeah, I think that's as much as I can say really on it without getting super spoilery. So if you do want to read it and make your own decisions on it, you probably should stop watching now. Did you leave? Did you go away? We're going around a turn, so I'm going to wait a second anyway. Okay, Stephen King's books have, oh, yeah, that should go out there. If you don't like sex, don't read these books. Stephen King's books are explicitly sexual. I mean, not explicitly. It's not like he goes into detail of what's going on in the sex, but the sex comes up a lot. So, but it's also really pertinent to the character of Roland, who is the gunslinger. And Roland he's a very flawed character. And he's like this macho man that he went to this school pretty much to be a gunslinger, which is you don't really figure out what a gunslinger really is, except for a guy that runs around with these guns, and it's like a high person in society. Sort of like a knight in this world, but he's a gunslinger. He's got his father's guns, and they have mahogany handles, and that's very important. It's mentioned several times, almost every time that it's mentioned that the guns are there. But he pretty much wants to prove that he's worth doing it, and he is the youngest person to pass the gunslinger test. And on this journey, he's trying to find the man in black, who you don't really know why he wants to find this person. You just know he is adamant about finding him. And really, like, I understood that the man in black wasn't a great guy. He was a magician. Some of the descriptions made me think of Loki in that sense, where he's not a great guy, he's a magician. He uses it to persuade people in really weird, bizarre ways. But, like, I didn't feel anything. And Ronan goes to this town, and it's a town where the man in black has been prior to him, and there was a man who was eating devil grass, which is like this poisonous grass. It's also sort of like weed, but it's poisonous, but you get addicted to it. And this man died, and the man in black brought him back to life. So the entire town is kind of like really weirded out by any new incomers. And so he ends up getting with the innkeeper, like the tavern woman, and he, in a way, he like uses her, because in order to get information from her, he has sex with her, which she really wants the sex. So, like, it's good for her, but then at the same time, like, he doesn't really care for her all that much. Like, he ends up caring about her, but he doesn't start out. And he's pretty much like, at one point, she literally says, like, I was going to tell you the information anyway, now can we just fuck? I don't know if I should swear yet. But it's explicit in that way, where it's just like, okay. It's a very adult book, so I wouldn't suggest it if you're not used to reading those themes. And my biggest thing was like, it was almost episodic in some ways, and I feel like the 3 episodes were in the town and like the parish woman and everything that he does with her, then stuff with the boy, and then the stuff at the end with the man in black. And that could just be the way that I ended up listening to it and the timeline that I ended up listening to it, but you don't really see a huge character arc in Roland in this first scene. I think I called him Ronan earlier. That's the Raven voice. He's Roland, not Ronan. But I don't know. I just wasn't a huge fan of it. Like, it's not bad, but it's not great at the same time. So, first book of October is like a 3.5. Great way to start our average. I'm still listening to Tom Clancy. That's my other book. That's like my book on the way to work. I am like 40 or 50% of the way through it, so I'm getting there. Woo! Gas dropped down to $2.29 at the Lakeside Reservation Station. Yeah. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today with my little car vlog. It was okay, it wasn't great. Read it at your own discretion and your own choice. My social media links will all be listed down below. You can follow my blog, which is the Scripturient 101 at www.scripture101.weebly.com. If you want to join me on the NaNoWriMo adventure, I will be posting videos on NaNoWriMo and things like that on Wednesdays, which I think are going to be called Writing Wednesdays. I'm pretty much just going to steal from my blog and going to try to conjoin blog posts again with videos this time and try to do that, but yet again, there's not always going to be a blog post with a video. There might not always be a video with a blog post. It just depends on how my week is that week and what's going on in my life. Yeah, so all of the links will be down below. I will see you in the next one, which hopefully will be on Wednesday.